Badness has occurred on the most catastrophic level with my Land Rover, and it meant that we came back from our most recent event on the back of a trailer. Now, I'm not a million certain what has actually happened yet, but I've either broken both diffs or some combination of broken diffs and snapped half shafts. What I can tell, without even opening the axles up, is that this steering arm is bent, unrelated, and the extra badness has occurred with the front diff because some of it has escaped through this hole. So there is one thing that's certain. I'm going to have to buy a new casing and a new diff for the front. So now I've got it up in the air, the first job is to whip all the axle ends off, take the half shafts out, and then we can see what badness has actually occurred in the axles. If this was a Land Rover from the olden times, this job would be incredibly simple. I would simply unbolt the half shafts from the hub here, lift the diff out, replace the broken bits, put it all back together, and then we'd be back on the road. But because this thing has fancy new wheel bearings, what I actually have to do is take the wheel off, take the brake caliper off, take the brake disc off, unbolt the wheel bearing, then take the half shaft out, and then do that 4 times, and then I can find out what's actually gone on in my axles. Right, to work. I'm so butthurt that I didn't take any cameras with me filming this, because literally the diffs went bang and then bang, literally that quick. Well, the half shafts are out now and the props are off, so we're ready to get these diffs out. I'm not expecting much good out of these diffs, because I've just struggled to turn the props to take them off, which means that it's all locking up. All the gears have probably fallen out. But I'll tell you what, we'll find out soon enough, because that's the last bolt. Here she comes. Oh yes, badness. Oh, there's another bit of diff. There's another bit of diff. There's another bit of diff. There's another bit. There's another bit. And there's another bit. As you can see, what has happened with this is that the M57 has given this diff many torques that it couldn't deal with, and then the pins that hold these cogs in have come out, as you can see from the oval hole that it's created, and then the cogs have all had a fight within the diff, and they've won, and the diff hasn't, and then it's cracked all this casing here and rendered badness to happen. What we can deduce from this, however, is that this diff isn't going again. So not only are we going to have to get a new diff for the front, we're also going to have to get one for the back. I wanted to confirm my suspicions about the front diff, even though I knew it was broken. So I took that out and, as expected, found that it had become many pieces. So it seemed at this point I had a decision to make. Right, I've made a decision, and because there isn't much in my current axles that is actually not broken, I've been out and I've bought some new ones, and here they are! Well, when I say new, what I actually mean is new to me. When I found these, they were rotting in a field on a farm. So they are quite scabby. But my plan with these is to completely clean them up and then completely rebuild them and just swap them for my current axles. I'm not going to go mad buying loads of new stuff for these axles, mainly because most of the things on my old axles have already been replaced. Stuff like bushes, all the wheel bearings, brake discs, all that kind of stuff. I'll just swap from the old axles. Something else to get excited about, I'm going to take this opportunity to upgrade the diffs to 4-pin centres, and also in the rear diff I'm going to make it a locker. Well, I am very excited to have shiny new axles with 4-pin diffs in them. However, there is a lot of work to be done before we can do that, and also a lot of money to spend before we can do that. But let's just not think about that, and definitely don't tell Mrs. Machine how much it's going to cost. As there was clearly a lot of work to do from now, I did the sensible thing and I took the diffs out of the new, in inverted commas, axles and put them in the original axles just so I could still use the car day to day. Fast forward an entire year to the footage you're seeing now, when absolutely nothing had been done to the axles. I'd broken another diff whilst overlanding in Portugal, and after driving all the way home in 2-wheel drive, I decided now was the time to do something about it. So I resumed the filming and made some headway. Once both axles were stripped down, I took them off to the sandblaster and, as if by magic, right, we have the stuff back from the powder coaters now, and it looks beautiful! There is still a little bit to do before we go ahead and paint them, stuff like this that's not managed to get off, and we need to just tidy these up a little bit because they've gone very rusty already. For reference, I picked these up on a Friday, it's now Wednesday, and this has gone this rusty already. So I need to give that a quick buzz up with wire brush, and then I need to give them all a steam clean because they've still got quite a bit of sand in them. And then I'm going to take them to our other workshop and paint them because I don't want to get paint all over the customer cars. A bit about the paint then. First, I went on with a high build primer just to try and smooth out any imperfections on the casing. Did quite a few coats of that, and then I sprayed a very tough gloss black paint over the top. And this paint was so tough that it actually broke the spray gun halfway through doing it. Yes, we are back from painting these axles and they look beautiful as long as you don't look too closely. Bloody spray gun broke halfway through, so I had to do it a bit more manually, let's say. And my original plan was to build these up on the bench, so we'll put all the diffs in, all the shafts, all the wheel bearings, brakes and everything, and I realised that it would just make it really hard work to get them from here to under the car. So I've had a little bit of a rethink, and all I'm going to do on the bench is put the seals in the end of the front axle, and then we'll do everything else on the car, especially for the ball joints, because you need the axle to be held quite tight for those, putting those in. I've been having to think about how we're actually going to do this job, because this type of work I don't really take on in this workshop usually. This is just M57 conversions, you know, we have 4-post ramps or no ramps kind of thing. So I've taken the decision to do it on the floor. Now, it does mean scrabbling around on my back a little bit, which I hate, but what I can do in this workshop is drive one end onto the 4-post ramp and have the other end suspended with a forklift. And that means I don't have any like axle stands for it to fall off, or you know, nothing to sort of restrict me. I'll have so much room under there, it'll be unbelievable. So I guess we just get to work. Whew. Right, that was actually easier than I anticipated. But we're now at the point, at least for the back axle, where we're ready to put the diff in. And I've got something that's pretty special to put back in. And they're down here. Oh my God, that's so heavy. There's one of them. And here is the other one. Oh my lordy. So these are heavy duty 4-pin diffs with lockers in each. I think they've been built by 4x4 XS and they've put these really nice locking tabs in as a little added extra to make sure these bolts don't come loose. Now these are second hand. They were £800 each, so £1,600 for the set. And if I was to buy these new, they would be upwards of £1,500 plus VAT. So it's safe to say that if I break one of these, I will be mightily disgruntled. Now I know that these diffs have only done a couple of thousand miles, so they should be in basically brand new condition. But they are a bit dirty, so I'm going to give them a little bit of a spruce up before we fit them, clean up some of these sealing faces, and then we can get on with it. Now, a common issue on these Land Rover axles, or any axle of this type I suppose, is leaky diffs. But I do have a tip that may just help you prevent your axles from leaking from here. So, you can see me putting some sealant around the entire flange of the axle there. The key thing when you put the diff in is just place it in and put your bolts in, but don't tighten them up straight away. Leave the sealant to go off for a while and then go around, tighten up all the bolts, and it'll mean that all the sealant doesn't just get squeezed out when you're tightening up your bolts. Works well.
Having finished the back axle, it was then time to do the same again on the front. But you've seen all this, so let's just speed it up a little bit. And when we'd finished the front axle, the car was back on the road again, and therefore dropped a long way down the priority list, meaning we didn't actually get around to finishing the job properly for another 6 months.
Now, continuing the theme of this video taking way too long to film, it is now February 2026. We are now onto the final job. And now, of course, we have lockers installed in the diffs, so we need to pipe them up and wire them up. And to do that, I've bought one of these switch panels, which is a brilliant little thing. I think I'm going to mount it up here somewhere, next to all the diff lock and high-low stuff. Now, it comes with all of this sort of horrible stuff that I'm going to have to mount. It even comes with a massive relay block, which I didn't really want to have to mess around with, to be honest, but it'll make a good job of it, so I think I'll fit these all nicely. And of course, we've got 4 buttons on the switch panel, which means we'll have 2 spare after we've done the lockers for lights or anything like that. So, come on Lawrence, let's finish this video.
Now look, obviously we've proved that the lockers work, engage, disengage in the workshop. It's not really a real world test, because where they really need to work is out on the tracks. Now look, this is an incredibly capable machine, even more capable than a Nissan Patrol with ridiculously large wheels on it. The choice of tracks that we have local to me that's going to give this car challenge enough to need to use the lockers are few and far between. We could do Rivington Pike, but it seems the off-piste yobbos have won and the council have now put a TRO on that, so we can't do that anymore. But I know of another track, a little bit local to me, that should give this car a bit of a challenge, and it's just here. Let's try going straight for it. Well, I mean, I'm stuck already. Put the lockers in. That is wonderful.
It's like a big cheat button that I've installed on the roof of my vehicle. It's just a go anywhere button.
Yeah, hold that thought. The next bit was a bit harder, and I ended up making a bit of a meal of it. As ever, the camera makes it look like the track is absolutely nothing, but rest assured, these were some big slippery rock steps. Right then, we have proved that these lockers work really, really well on the tracks as well as in the workshop. Sometimes though, you do just have to hang off the end of a winch to get to where you're going. The crucial thing is that nothing snapped and I didn't run over any cameras trying to show you. For now though, I'd best get back to the workshop and do some actual customer jobs because, yes, I am meant to be at work right now. If you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and press the like button and feel free to make a comment in the writey section. Oh, and if you want to watch me build the fastest Tomcat in the world, probably, then you best subscribe to the channel, just in case.